Let us look at how we are to construct the sectional view of this building. We are looking at question B as we have here on the specifications. Question B says that we are to draw to a scale of 1:50 the detailed section of JJ, and we are asked to assume stable dimensions where unspecified. All right, so let's come back to what we have here. So we need to take note of the cutting plane. Okay, so here we have cutting plane JJ. So the cutting plane goes in this direction as we have it here, and then the arrows are pointing in this direction. It means that when we cut it and we remove this, so we want to see what we have on this face, and to here. So that's what we want to see. All right, so we need to take note of the number of walls that are cut by the cutting plane. So the cutting plane cut this wall, okay? So there's no component of building within this wall, so this is just a wall. And then it cuts this wall, so we have a door here in this wall. Then it cut this wall here, so we also have a door in this wall. Then it cut the beam. There's a beam at the top of this building. There's a top, okay, at the top of this veranda, there's a beam. So it cut that beam and also cut this step, and there's also a small wall or a short wall at this point that it cut. So there's a wall here, so that wall has a foundation, and the wall here, so we have these steps they are connected, or the steps are connected to the wall at this point. So we have to take note of that. All right, so what we are going to do first, okay, we are going to start by drawing a horizontal line for the ground level. So we draw horizontal line from here for the ground level. Okay, we have the horizontal line like this. Okay, so we are going to indicate here that this line is for the ground level, so we have to write capital letter GL here. So here we have this. So this is GL for the ground level. All right, so another thing that I need to talk about here, okay, so we are standing here. So by the time we remove this, we are standing here. I want to see what we have here. So we are moving from this side, from this right side. If I'm standing here, this will be my right. So I'm moving from the right side to the left side. That's what we are doing. Okay, so we are going to start with the with these steps. We are going to start with these steps. That's what we are going to start with, but we need to look into the specifications to know something about the floor of the building from the ground level. So here we have that floor level apart from dining is at 450, 3 risers above ground level. So we need to start from there. So let us start with that. Okay, so what we need to do first is that we move away from here a little bit, and then we are going to draw a short vertical line like this. Okay, we have this short vertical line as we have it here. So we want to locate the floor level. So the first thing that we are going to do is to locate the floor level around here. So we need to start with the construction of the steps. Okay, so as we are told that the floor level is 450 3 risers. So if you divide 450 by 50, okay, so that will give us 9 millimeters. Okay, so that will give us 9 millimeters. So what we have to do, so each step, okay, as we have here, so the steps, for the steps we are going to make use of the riser. So the riser is 150 while the thread is 300. So if we divide this 150 by 50 to give us 3 millimeters, okay, then if we divide the thread by 50, it will give us 6. So the riser is on the vertical, so we are going to take 3 millimeters each, so up to, so we have 1 and this is 2, then we have this to be 3. Okay, so this is the floor level. The third one here is the floor level. So here we have to draw a horizontal line for the floor level. So just let's just have it like this for now. Okay, so the steps that we have here, so let's work on the steps. So here we are going to draw a horizontal line. So here we have a horizontal line to this side, and then here we have this horizontal line, just a short one like this. So the third one is that by the time I move from this step up, I will step on the floor in the veranda. But let us produce the steps first. So for the step as we have it here, so the thread is 6 millimeters each. So we have just two. So we take 6 millimeters. This is 6 millimeters here, and then we move from here. So we take 6 millimeters to this side. This is 6 millimeters. So for this, so here we have the steps here. So we have the steps here. So I'm just going to make this a thick line at once, okay, and then I'll make this a thick line at once. So here we have the steps in place. We have the steps in place, okay. So we now need to move, okay. So this there's a I said that there's a wall here at this point that the steps are connected to. So this wall here, so though this represents the beam that we are viewing from the top, so but we also have a short wall that these steps are connected to. So this line that we position here is for that wall. So what we are going to do now, so we are going to I'll just take this down a little bit because I said that this particular wall has its own foundation. All right, so now let's go into the specifications for us to produce the walls. So as we have here in the sketch plan, okay, as we have here in the sketch plan, that all walls dimension are into in, and we also have that the overall dimension include boundary walls. So this is the overall dimension. So what they are saying here is that for the wall that we have here, this dimension that we are given is for the distance between the inner face of the one wall and the other. The inner face of this wall and the inner face of this wall, this is distance between them, okay. That is what they are telling us. So what we have to do now is that we need to know the thickness of the wall. Thickness of the wall, as we have here the specifications, we have that all walls 225 concrete hollow blocks. So what we have to do, so we divide that 225 by 50, and that will give us 4.5. So we just make it 5 millimeters. So what I'm going to do now is that we take 5 millimeters from here. So here we have this. So we are going to will draw a vertical line here. So this is a vertical line. So we have this, okay. So next, so from this wall, which is the inner face of the wall, this wall, so we take the next wall, we move to the next wall. That is this wall that we have here. So that is this wall that we have here. So as we have in the specifications or in the sketch plan, so for us to locate this wall, we have a distance of 2,500 from here to here. So 2,500. So 2,500 by 50. So we give us 50 millimeters. So we have taken a measurement of 50 millimeters from this line that represents the inner face of this wall. So we take 50 to this side. So this is 50 millimeters, and we take 5 again. So this is 5 millimeters here. So here we are going to draw a vertical line. So here we draw a vertical line like this, and then so move away and we draw this vertical line. So we have this. All right, so then the next wall that we have here is this particular wall that we have here. So for this wall, distance from here to here is 5,725. So when I divided that by 50, okay, so it gives me it gave me approximately 115 millimeters. 115 millimeters. So if I'm taking that from here, so 115 millimeters, that is 11.5 centimeters. So 11.5 centimeters. So this is 11, so 11.5 centimeters. This is 11.5 centimeters here. So we have this, okay. So here we have this wall. So I took that distance. I think looking at it, I took it from here. Okay, so yeah, I take it from the inner face of this wall. So we have 11.5 centimeters. That is 115 millimeters. So I'm going to draw a vertical line here. Then then I'm going to take a measurement of 5 millimeters to this side. 5 millimeters. So this is 5 millimeters. At this point, I will draw a vertical line. So we have this vertical line here. Then from this, I'm taking the last one. So the last one is, we have that from here to here, for us to draw this one, from here to here is 3,500. So 3,500 by 50, we go 70. So from here, I will take a measurement of 70 millimeters. So this is 70 millimeters. Okay, then I will take 5 away. So we have this. Okay, so here I'm going to extend this horizontal line for the floor surface. Okay, we have this. Okay, so then at this point I'm going to draw a vertical line. So here I will draw a vertical line, so like this. Okay, then on this side, to bring out the thickness of the wall, I will draw this vertical line. All right, so we have positioned the walls as we have here. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do is that we need to work on the foundation. That's how I do my work. Okay, so after the foundation, I'll go and work on the floor. From the floor, I move to the roof. Then I will come back to the inner part of the building to put in the necessary things. That's how I do my work. Okay, now, so let's work on the foundation. We have to go to specifications. So in the specifications for the foundation, we have that foundation 675 by 225 concrete strip laid over 40 blinding at 900 below the ground level. That is the information that we have about the foundation. So what we are to do now, so we are told that the bottom of the foundation is 900 millimeters below ground level. So we need to start with that. So if we divide 900 by 50, so that will give us 18 millimeters. So I'm going to take a measurement of 18 millimeters from the ground level. So 18 millimeters from the ground level, this is 18 millimeters here. So I will come here also because I will need a straight line. So I will also take a measurement of 18 millimeters down here. So I'm going to connect these 2 points together with a straight line. So I will connect these 2 points together with a straight line like this to have it like this. Okay, then we move to the thickness of the blinding. So the thickness of the blinding as given to us is 40 millimeters. So that 40 millimeters, if we divide 40 millimeters by 50, the value will not be really feasible. So if we are to take that measurement, so what I'm going to do is that I will take 2 millimeters from this line. I will take 2 millimeters up. This is 2 millimeters here. So on this side also, I will take a measurement of 2 millimeters. Then I'm going to draw horizontal line. So here I will draw horizontal line. So this is going to represent the thickness of the blinding. So it goes like this. So this represents the thickness of the blinding, okay, as we have it here. Now, so the next thing that I'm going to do, okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is that so we move to the width of the foundation. The foundation footing is in rectangular form, so it has a length of 675 and width of 225. So we start with that 225. 225 by 50 will give us 4.5. So we make it 5 millimeters. So I will take a measurement. So from this point here, I will take 5 millimeters up, 5 millimeters up. This is 5 millimeters. Then I will come to this side and also take a measurement of 5 millimeters up. So this is 5 millimeters. I'm connecting these 2 points together with a straight line. So connecting these 2 points together with a straight line like this. So we have this now. All right, so okay, so this thickness represents the width of the foundation footing. So next, we now go to the length of the foundation footing, which is 675. So 675 by 50 will give us something like 13.5 or 13.8. So what we do in this case is that I will wrap it up and then make it 15 millimeters. And that if I approximate 13.5 or 13.8 should be 14, but I'll just make it 15 millimeters. So what we are going to do now is that since this is 5 millimeters from here to here, so what I'm going to do is that I will take 5 millimeters from this line, take 5 millimeters from this line here. So I'll take 5 to the left side, then I'll take 5 to the right side here. So coming here, I'll do the same thing by taking 5 millimeters to the left side and 5 millimeters to the right side. Okay, then here also I'll do the same thing. So 5 millimeters to the left side here and 5 millimeters to the right side. Then coming here, I'll do the same thing by taking 5 millimeters to the 5 millimeters here to the left side, 5 millimeters to the right side. So I have this. All right, so at this point, I'm going to be drawing a vertical line on each of these points. So here I will make this a vertical line from here to here. Okay, so making it a vertical line. And then here I will also draw this as a vertical line. So coming here, I will draw a vertical line here, and here also I will draw a vertical line. So we have this. Then coming here, I will also draw this as a vertical line, and then so draw this as a vertical line. Okay, so then here I will draw this as a vertical line, and then I will draw this also with a vertical line. All right, so then so for this part, so I'm going to make this a thick line like this. So making this a thick line, and then so I'll make this also a thick line. Then I will also make this a thick line. Okay, so then coming up here for the thickness of the blinding, so I'm making this line from here to here a thick line. This also is a thick line. Okay, so I will also make this a thick line, and then make this a thick line from here to here. Then coming up here, so coming up here, so I will make so each of these. So for this one, so making this a thick line from here to here, and then this a thick line from here to here. Then I'll make this a thick line from here to here. Then this also making it a thick line from here to here. All right, so here we have the foundation footing with the blinding. So the blinding is made up of sand, cement, and water. Okay, so I will just to put, so I just put this represent the sand within the mixture. So just for these two. So then for the foundation, so it is made of concrete. So that is the mixture of sand, cement, gravel, and water. So we have this. All right, so this represents the gravel within the mixture. Okay. All right, so then we also do the same thing here. All right, so just to show that this represents the foundation. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to go and work on the floor. So I need a little some seconds. All right, so we are back. So let's look at how we can work out the floor. So we go to the floor. Already we have already located the floor level here. So this is the floor level. So we have already located it. So we just have to bring in the floor components. So as we have here, so for the floor, okay, so the floor components, so for the floor component, as we have here, so we have that the hardcore is 300, the concrete slab is 150, and then we have 25 PVC tiles floor finish. Okay, so this is the surface of the floor that you are going to step on when you are in the building. So so what we are to do now to position, we need to position the components of the floor. So we already have the surface of the floor. So this is the surface of the tiles that we are given, but we have to take the thickness of the tiles. Okay, we have to take that thickness. So the thickness of the tiles is 25 mm. So 25 by 50 will give us 0.5, which is not going to be really feasible. So what we are to do now is that from this line, so I'm going to take a measurement of 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter, I will take 1 millimeter here, and I will come here and also take a measurement of 1 millimeter. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, so for this, so we are going to connect this point together, but the tiles will not pass through the wall. So we are just going to draw a line from here to here. So, and then here we draw a line from here to here like this, and on this side we also draw a line from here to here. Okay, so up here also I need to make this line, I need to make them thick line. So just let me use this to do that. So make this line a thick line. So we also make this line, so make it a thick line. Okay, so from here to here, and then so we also make this a thick line from here to here. Okay, so we have this. All right, so this is for the tiles that we are given. So because it is cut, so we just shade it a little bit. So we shade it like this a bit. Okay, so this is how we represent the tiles within the sectional view. Okay, all right, so we have this just to shade it a bit. All right, so we have put the tiles there. So next is, so under these tiles we have the concrete slab. We have the concrete slab. So for the concrete slab, so the thickness is 150. So 150 by 50 will give us 3 millimeters. So we are taking a measurement of 3 millimeters. So for the concrete slab, so it will pass through the walls. So the walls are built. The walls are built over the concrete slab. So they are built over the concrete slab. So we have this to be 3 millimeters. So we are going to draw this line. Okay, we draw this line. So the line. So we are going to make it a thick line at once. So it goes like this. Okay. So this is the thickness of the concrete slab. So in this case now, we need to make this line, we need to make it a thick line to this end. Okay, so we also join this together. So then this also, so we join them together. So that's the thickness of the concrete slab. So from here to here. All right, so let's show the symbol for the concrete slab. So it is made of concrete, just as we did for the foundation footing. So we like this, and then so here, so I don't have to do it for everything, so I can just a little part of it. And then so at this end here, I'm also going to draw this. All right, so then we show the sand within the mixture. Okay, so as I said that the concrete is made of the mixture of sand, cement, gravel, and water. So we have to show this. This is the sand. So why this represents the stone or the gravel within the mixture. All right, so that is the concrete slab. So under the concrete slab now, we now have what we call hard core. So hard core has a thickness of 300. So 300 by 50 will give us 6. So it will give us 6. So this is 6 millimeters here. So here is 6 millimeters. And then coming here, I also have this to be 6 millimeters. All right, so then we are going to, so the hard core, so will not pass through the wall. So here it will not pass through the wall. So we are just going to make this. So draw from here to here. Okay, and then we draw from here to here. Okay, and then we draw from here to here for the hard core. All right, so then we need to show the symbol for hard core here. So just draw like this. All right, so this is the hard core. So I can just put it here like this. Okay, so don't have to do it for everything. So we have this. This is the hard core as we see it here. All right, so looking at what we have here, so we need to make this line. So make it a thick line. So this is the foundation wall. So making it a thick line. So we make this a thick line from here down here like this. All right, so then we make this a thick line from here to here. And then we also make this a thick line from here to here. So then, so to show that this is the wall, so we draw like this, just put slash like this, 2, and then here we also have this, and then here we have this. All right, so then we need to show what we call heads. So within this part, so that is the sand under here. So we also show it here. All right, so then so here we have, okay, so we are putting the heads here. So and then here, all right, so this is how I do make my own heads, just 2, and then okay, so here we do. So this represents the heads. So the sand under the ground that covered the foundation footing and the blinding and also the foundation wall. All right, so now, so we are done with the floor. So we move now to the roof. So that's the next thing that I want us to do. As I said that I usually my work do my work, making the foundation footing, and then working on the floor. Then from there, I proceed to the roof. All right, so we need to extend these walls here. So I want to extend these walls, okay? And also I will extend this wall here and here. So extending this wall. All right, so now, so we need to look at the information given to us about the walls, okay? Sorry, about the floor and the roof, the distance between the floor surface and the roof. Okay, so coming here now, so here we have that so dining floor level is 150 higher than other floor level, okay? Then dining floor to roof is 3,250. So for us to locate, okay, so the dining, so we have the dining here. This is the dining now, okay? So the dining will be around here, okay? So this wall that we have here is for this this wall, and then so this one we are going to say a column here. So we come back to this because there's something that we are going to work out here. But the floor of the rest of the building is what we have, the level of the floor or the surface of the floor of the rest of the building is what we have up here, except that of the dining, okay? So now this information given to us about the distance of the floor of dining from other floor, and also the distance of the surface of the floor of the dining from the roof, as we are given here, we are going to add them together to locate the face of the distance between the roof and the surface or the floor of other part of the building. So we add that 150 and 3,250 together, and that will give us 3,400. So if we divide 3,400 by 50, so by 50, I'm having that to be, so what I have for that, okay, so I am having that to be, okay, let me just do the calculation. Okay, I think I have 68, so that's going to be 68 millimeters. Yeah, that is 68 millimeters. So that's 68 millimeters. We are taking that measurement from this surface, okay? So we take 68 millimeters off from here. So this is, I need to extend this line. So this is 68 millimeters. Here we are 68 millimeters. So let me also come here and do the same thing. Okay, so we extend this. Okay, so we take a measurement of 68 millimeters. So here is 68 millimeters. So at this point here, we are going to draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line. So connecting these 2 points together. So here we have the horizontal line like this. Okay, so we have this. All right, so I need to extend this line. Okay, so this line should go up to this level. So we have this. All right, so now, so having done that, so I also need to extend this to touch this surface, because this type of roof that we are given is called flat roof, as given to us in the specifications. Let me bring it. They said reinforced concrete flat roof with 25 bituminous felt finish. Okay, that's what we are given. So, and then there is a condition again concerning the roof of this veranda and this water closet that we have here. So we are told that they said that roof over veranda and adjoining room for WC 700 below the other main roof. So each projection is 600. So let's work on the roof of the main roof, which is from here to here. So let's work on that. So what we are to do is that let's take the east projection. So 600 by 50 will give us 12 millimeters. So here we have 12. This is 12 millimeters. And then we come to this side. We also take 12. So from here, so we take 12 to the left side. So here we are going to draw a short vertical line. So it goes up like this. Okay. And then here we come here also. We also draw a short vertical line, so which goes up like this. All right, so the next thing that we have to do is that the thickness of the reinforced concrete is not given to us. The thickness of the reinforced concrete is not given to us. So what we are to do in this case, so I'm going to take the thickness of the reinforced concrete. I'll take it as 300 as 300. So 300 by 300 by 50. So it will give us so 300 by 50 will give us that is what it's going to give us 6. So it will give us 6. So we take a measurement of 6 millimeters up. So this is 6 millimeters here. Okay, 6 millimeters. Then I will also come here and take a measurement of 6 millimeters up. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line here. So here we draw a horizontal line. So we make it a thick line at once. So here we join this together. So for the thickness of the reinforced concrete, so we also need to make this line. We also make it a thick line from here to here. So here we have this for the thickness of the reinforced concrete. So for now, we have bituminous felt, so whose thickness is 25. So that 25, as I said, that is going to be 0.5 if we are to divide it by 50. So let's make it something like 1 millimeter up. So 1 millimeter from here. So we take 1 millimeter up. So this is, or just let's make it 1.5 so that it will be a little bit more feasible. Okay, so we take 1.5 up like this. So then we are connecting these 2 points together. So we connect these 2 points together with a straight line. So, and it goes like this. All right, so this is the thickness of the bituminous felt. So now, so we need to show that, so this one is, we have reinforced concrete here, and we also have this to be bituminous felt. So for the reinforced concrete, so we just, it is made of mixture of sand, cement, and gravel and water. So we also show it here, just as we did for the concrete slab that we have in the floor. Okay, so then, so this represents the gravel, so within the mixture. All right, so then so this one represents the sand within the mixture, and all right, so we have this. And for the bituminous felt that we have here, so we just have to shade it a bit like this. Just shade it to bit. Okay, so we have this, and then so then we do the same thing. Okay, so then here we also, so let's put it here. All right, so this is for the roof for the main part of the building, that is from here to this side. Now let's come to that of the veranda. So as we are told that the roof of the veranda is 700 below the other main roof, 700 below the other main roof. So if we divide 700 by 50, that's going to give us 14 millimeters. So we take a measurement of 14 millimeters down. So from the surface of this roof down here, so we take 14 millimeters down. So this is, so here is 14 millimeters. So you have this to be, I want to make sure I can see that 14 very well. All right, so down here, so we have this to be 14 millimeters. So here I'm going to draw horizontal line. So we are drawing horizontal line here like this. So draw horizontal line. So it goes this way. All right, so then so we need to extend so these lines. Okay, so take it like this, just partially. Okay, all right, so we have this. So then so here we extend this line to this side. Let's extend it here. So we are going to take each projection. So for this, so each projection is also 12 millimeters for this. So this is 12 millimeters, and then here also we take 12 millimeters from this point here to the right side. So here we have 12 millimeters. So we have this. So at this point we draw a vertical line. So it goes up like this, and then this goes up like this. Okay, so for this roof, and then so we take a measurement of 6 millimeters for the reinforced concrete. This is 6 millimeters, and then 1.5 millimeters up for the bituminous felt. So here we draw this line. Okay, so for the thickness of the reinforced concrete from here to here. like this. Okay, then we also come up here, so we draw a line. So this line, so we draw this line. So from here to here for the bit MOSFET. Please, I need it's some seconds. Okay, I need to do something. All right, so I'm back. All right, so this line, we need to make it a thick line under here. So make it a thick line like this from here to here, and then so make this line a thick line like this. So this line is made a thick line. Okay, then this line here, we see it a thick line. Okay, so that's how this is going to be. Now let's walk here. Let's walk here. Okay, now so there's a beam. So this particular beam that we have here in the veranda, we are going to see it here. We are going to see it here. So we have to show it. Now, so what is the distance of this beam from the floor surface? So let's look at the beam. So in the specifications, here we have 225 by 225 reinforced concrete at 2,800 above dining floor. So we are still going to talk about that, but this one, and we have that 2,300 above veranda floor. So looking at that, so that 2,300 we divide by 50, and that will give us 26 millimeters. We give us 26 sorry, 46. So it give us 46 millimeters. So we take a measurement. So we need to locate that beam. So we take a measurement of 46 up. So this is 46 millimeters. So we have it here. So here we are going to draw this line. So we draw this line like this from here to here as a horizontal line. So for the beam, so we draw from here to here. Okay, so this is the beam. So this beam now is now resting on this column. There is a column that we have, round column that we have here. So this is going to represent the column. So what we have to do here, okay, is to make this line. So make this line a thick line from here down like this, and then we also make this a thick line from here, so down here like this. Okay, this is the column. Okay, so we have positioned the column, and then around here, as I did for the left hand elevation, that we are going to see balustrade here, because we are told. So if you look at the front elevation that we have here, we have balustrade here. So on this side here, there will be a balustrade. Okay, so let's work on the balustrade. Okay, so let's work on the balustrade. So for the balustrade that we have here, so we have that for veranda, we have 1,100 iron rails with vertical balusters under it. Okay, so we need to work on that. So for the 1,100, so that's going to give us 22. That will give us 22 if you divide by 50. So we have to come up here at this point. So take a measurement of 22 millimeters. Of this is 22 millimeters. So at this point here, we are going to draw a horizontal line for the rail. So that is for the iron railings. So we draw horizontal line from here to here. Okay, then we come down a bit for the thickness of the iron railing. So we draw this horizontal line. Then we have to position the balusters here. So just move away. So I put about 3 here. Okay, so this one is on the side, so we can put like 4 here. So we draw a vertical line like this. So move away for the thickness. So here we have what? We have 1. Then so here we also have another one like this for the balusters. So move away and draw the vertical line. Then here also, so we have 1 here. Okay, so just let me make it just 3. So we have this thickened. Okay, so then we also have it here like this. All right, so we have this. So it's raining. I have to do something. All right. So we are not done with this roof. So we are not done with this roof. So we have to make sure we do it like this because it is also cut by the cutting plane. So we have this. So I can do it because this is not as long as that. Okay. So this is the reinforced concrete. Okay. And then so for the bit MOSFET that we have here. Okay, so we are done with the roof here. Now, so on this in this wall we have what we have a door. So here within this wall that is cut by the cutting plane. So the height of the door is 4,100. 4,000, sorry, 2,100 is 2,100. So 2,100 by 50, that will give us 42. So we take a measurement of 42 millimeters up here. Then we take this is 42, sorry, here is 42, and then we take 5 millimeters up. So for the lintel over the door, so here we make this, so we draw this. Okay, so we have to, so the lintel is a reinforced component, so we just put something like this here, and then we are going to, so this is the lintel. So and then so the door that we have here, so this door that we have here, okay, so we need to show it. So we need to show it. Okay. All right. So then, so within this wall, so we have to put 2 vertical lines within this wall. So here we have this. So that is for this door that is cut within this wall. All right. So then, next thing that we are going to do is that, so this floor of the veranda, so the floor of the veranda and also the beam over the veranda, we have to work on it. So but if you look at the sketch plan, there is something that we need to do. Okay, so so let's first of all look at the this beam that we have here in the dining. So this beam that we have in the dining, there's something that we need to do about it for us to locate it. So they said beam, so for the dining, so we have it distant from the dining floor to be 2,800 above dining floor. So dining floor, so don't forget that dining floor itself, its distance from the main floor is 150. It's 150 higher than the main floor. So we need to work that out. But this is what we are going to do. So so first of all, take a measurement of, so that 150 by 50 will give us 3 millimeters. So we need to take a measurement of 3 millimeters, or this is 3 millimeters. So here we draw a horizontal line. So the horizontal line to this side, so it will be somewhere around here. All right, so we have it like this. So what we are to do next is that, so we need to come up here. So from here now, so this 2,800 of the distance of the beam from the dining floor, so we need to divide it by 50, and that's going to give us so we have what we are going to have this to be 30. So it will be okay, so let me just okay, so I need to get it accurately, so that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so 2,800 by 50, so gives us 56. So we have to be 56. So from this line up, we take 56 millimeters up, 56 millimeters up. So this is 15. So here we have this to be, so this is 56. So at this point, we are going to draw a horizontal line. So here we draw a horizontal line here. So I'll just come around here and draw horizontal line like this. Okay, so now the next thing that we are going to do, that beam itself, we have to position the beam itself, okay, so that we work with this floor the way it is given to us here. So this is dining, and then we are told that distance from here to here is 750, from here to here 750. Then we have the total length is what? Is from here to here. The total length of this room from here to here is 3,500. So that will give us 70 millimeters. So we are taking measurement of 70 millimeters from this line. So from this line here, we take 70 millimeters forward here. Okay. Then we now have the beam. Okay, the beam. So distance of the beam. So we have that from here to here. So is 750, and from here to here 750. So that's going to be 750 by 50. So 750 by 50 gives us 15. So we take a measurement of 15 millimeters from here. So this is 15 millimeters to this side. And I will come here. So where this 70 ends, I will also take 15 millimeters to this side. So we have this. Okay. So now, we are going to draw a vertical line here. We are going to see the edge of this wall. So there's a wall here. This is a wall from here to here, and this is a wall from here to here. So we are going to see its edge going down to the floor, and also the edge of this one going down to the floor. So this is what I mean. So we are going to make this. So make this a thick line from here down like this, and we also make this a thick line from here down like this. Okay. Then this floor, so we see this floor clearly. So in the dining, okay, so we see this floor like this, and then this beam, so we also make it a thick line. Okay, so this is, so what we see here when we enter in here, we are in the dining. All right, so that's what we are going to see here right now. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is that we now come to the, okay, so we come to, there's something that I need to do here. So there's, okay, so there's a beam. There's a beam here. So there's a beam here. So this beam is cut. This beam is cut. Okay, so this beam, okay, this beam is cut. There's a beam. So up here that is cut. So to be around here. So we also need to show it here. So we need to show it here. So this beam, the cutting plane cut it. So we need to show it around here. So it also at the same level with this one. Okay. Then the dimension is 225 by 225. So we need to show it here. So we take 5 millimeters up. 5 millimeters up. This is 5 millimeters. So then we are going to bring it out here. Okay, so here it is. It's a reinforced concrete. So also need to show it here, just as we did for the lintel. So we have this. So you must not forget this. This is the beam that we have here, up here at the veranda. All right. So then, so this is a column. So we are not going to do anything with this. All right. So now, let's look at the next thing that we are going to see. So we are going to see this door. So this door. So from the living room into the passage here, we are seeing this door here. So we need to position this door. So this door is to be around here. So we have it around here. Okay, because this space is for the living room. So then, so what we have, the whole of this space here is for the living room that we have here. So this door will be around here. So let's position it. So let's position it. So move away from a little bit away from this this wall. So move away a little bit from this wall, and here we draw okay, so we draw a vertical line like this. So the height of the of the door, so we can just transfer this because we have taken that height already. So just transfer this distance. So we draw it here like this, and then we also have another door here. So let's just do that at once. All right, so for this door that we have here, so the width is 900 as we have in the specifications. So 900 by 50 will give us 18. So we take a measurement of 18 millimeters. So this is 18 millimeters to this side. Okay, so we make this. So make this a vertical line. So make this a vertical line like this. Okay, then so we move away. So to give it a frame. So also here, so we make this a thick line down here. Then we move away. So giving it a frame like this. Then we also make this line, so we make it a thick line from here to here, and then coming down a bit, so make it like this. So this is the door that we have here, and then we are told that this type of door is a flush wooden door. So flush wooden door, so we just put lock there, and then we do this. Okay, so we have fixed the door here. So then we have another door here. So this particular door that we have here, so we have it, so very it's laid close to this wall here. So here we need to extend this line. So we extend this line like this. Okay, so then let's produce the door. So we just take 18 millimeters. So moving away a little bit, so moving away a little bit from here, so we give it a frame like this. Okay, then we take 18 millimeters away from here, so this is 18 millimeters, so here is 18 millimeters. So we draw this as a vertical line, so we draw a vertical line here like this. Okay, so then moving away, so we draw a vertical line for the frame, and then so here we also make this, so like this, and then so alright, so the door is in place, so we have the second door in place. So you can just put this, and then we are told that it's a flush uh, wooden door, so we have this. Alright, so that's it. So now, so this wall, there's no component that is cut within this wall. So all we have to do is to make this a thick line from here down. So we make it a thick line from here down like this. And then we also make this a thick line from here down. So then we need to show that this is a wall. So by making this symbol here, okay, and alright, so then also this wall, there's no component that is cut within this wall. Okay, alright, sorry. So this wall, we have a door. A door is cut within this wall. So a door is cut within this wall. So we need to show that. Okay, I mean this door is cut within this wall. So we need to show that here. So like this. Okay, so then the lintel over it, we need to produce the lintel over it. So this is for the lintel over it, and then we are going to show that this is a lintel. Okay, and so we are going to make this line, so make it a thick line from here down here, and this also from here down here, and so I'll close this, and then within this I will draw two lines to show that there's a door that is cut within this wall. Then to show that this is a wall, so we make this symbol there. Alright, so looking at what we have here, so we have everything in place. Okay, we have everything in place. So we just have to label some parts. We need to label some parts. So this is veranda. So I need to write it here. So this is veranda. So this is veranda. Then here we have what for this part here. So we have veranda, and then it's a water closet bed. Just so for this is dining. So let's write dining here. So this is dining. So this is dining. So we have this, and then the whole of this is living room. So let's write living room here, including, so you know you are just seeing the entrance of the dining from the living room. So we write living room here. Alright, so then here we have what? Here we have kitchen. So this we have kitchen here. So this is the kitchen. So here we have kitchen here. Alright, so everything has been put in place. So if you are chance to label this part that are explained here, so what we are left to do here is that we need to say that this is sectional view. So sectional. So sectional, so view, sectional view. So JJ. So then we write the scale. So scale. So here we have the scale to be 1:50. All right, so we have completed this work. It's as simple as I've done it. But before I go, so these are these steps also. So these steps, so they are made of concrete. So we need to show it. So they are also made of concrete. So we have this. So we need to, they are made of concrete. So we have this. All right, so that is for the steps. So here we are done with the construction of the sectional view of this build. It's as simple as I've done it here. All you have to do is to practice, okay? So we have all 4 videos here, and I created a playlist for this work. So we have I titled it okay, so for my different YouTube channels, okay, so I titled to them differently, but we are watching on the main one, which is this tutorial. So you see it as 2026 WAEC building drawing. So you will see it in the playlist, so you can open it, and then you will see how I did the construction of the floor plan, how I did the construction of the front elevation, how I did the construction of the left end elevation is under this. Okay, then how we I did this. So you will see the 4 videos, so you can just take your time to watch one by one and practice. Very, very important for you to practice. When you practice this work, take your time to watch, take your time to follow my instruction, and be able to get it done as I did here. So thank you, and God bless you.